And then my mom's family all lives in Forks, Washington, now famous for Twilight, of course, which is just very strange if you grew up there. My dad lived in Seattle, and so we often took the ferry back and forth, and as soon as we'd get into town, we'd often go straight to the Seattle Public Library, and I'd get the biggest stack of books I could find, and then usually beg to go back the next day because I'd read them all. I love to read. I taught myself to read because I wanted to know what the book said, and people were too busy to read to me, so I just started figuring it out. And I love Dr. Seuss, so when people ask me what are your poetic influences, I always say Dr. Seuss and hip-hop music. So I really love to just play with words. I love the sound of words, and so a lot of my poems are just that, just playing with words and how they sound. But also things that are political, things that happen in the news that really affect me deeply will often make it into a poem. And this poem came from a story on Reuters about a newlywed couple in Iran who had sex before marriage. And they felt so guilty about it that they entered into a suicide pact. So then the man helped the wife kill herself, and then he decided he didn't want to do it. So I was like, well, wow, that seems pretty unfair. So I wrote a poem called Another Romeo Afraid of Dying. They say she lit her clothes on fire, threw herself down a well. They say she was afraid of tomorrow and electricity. When they found her, your name was inked all over her swan body. The neck, too curved and paler than moon flesh. You have your alibi and white teeth, all smile and sorrow, looking through the bars of a fairy tale. What happened to the promise, the precision with which you climbed to the balcony and brazenly broke her heart open so that you could taste daybreak through the mouth of a virgin? The trouble with ash is its ambiance, ability to shroud the sky. She lay like porcelain in a glass drawer for days, and you didn't dare to wake her with a biblical kiss. She went up like a burning bush. And who were you to question her motives? Bird feathers tainted with char and chisel, the sculpted sound of something torn. We watched the white gown of guilt turn tidal at her ankles, unable to stop the unraveling of oxygen and heat consuming the costume of her indivisible grace. I guess you hadn't heard the news, stomping around in your hero's shoes, glass slipper dreaming of a girl who was easy to win, impossible to lose. But who ate brambles? Could a tourniquet turn off your leaky heart? The age of another ambivalent atlas. The globe spun slow, blue greens in her eyes. Your addiction to filth and whiskey wishes left you doubting. How could you touch the tassels of her erogenous smile without becoming stigma on her splash of skin? So you walked into the desert as if the banished bite of losing everything could restore her, and your eyes went clouds camouflaging the carnivore, how you were devouring the last pieces of a memory, the bliss of blue tinge you tasted on shadowed lips, the girl gone statue, immortal in the gauze of a long goodbye. And you stood there, cowardly in the cup of her courage, the only one who didn't need to ask why.
Yeah.